Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Our today's topic we will study about something interesting today. So, can you tell me what is our body made up of?
Sir, body made up of cells,
Very good. Our body is made of different types of organs,
organs.
tissues, cells. Cells is the basic unit of life. So, basically, cell is the base unit. Then cells together make an tissue or organ. Cells together make a tissue, and when tissues come all together, that are made of organs, and organ makes our body. So today we are going to study about cell. Our subject is
So-
science. Our today's topic will be cell, unit of life. Today's date is so cell. What is a cell? Cell is known as structure and functional unit of life. Okay. Now the term cell is derived from a Latin word known as cella. Now why cella? Because cella means in Latin it is known as an empty space. Therefore, it is abbreviated to the word as cell. Now who discovered cell?
Robert.
Robert Hooke, scientist Robert Hooke. Does anyone know in which year? It is 1665. In 1665, Robert Hooke did is what? He he observed a cork cell under a compound microscope. Under the microscope, he saw a structure like this. So, under microscope, Robert Hooke observed cork cell and found the structure like this. Now this structure had an empty space inside them. This empty space was termed as cell. As cell, empty space in Latin is known as cella. It is therefore known as cell. Later, his research was continued or carried on by a scientist named Anton van Leeuwenhoek, also known as A.V. Leeuwenhoek. He therefore classified cell into two types, that is, one is eukaryotic and one is prokaryotic. Now what is the eukaryotic cell and what is the prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cells are cells which do not have cell membrane. They basically are unicellular, whereas eukaryotic cells are multicellular in nature. Example of prokaryotic cells are bacteria and other microorganisms, whereas example of eukaryotic cells is human plants, etc. Now, prokaryotic cell has circular DNA, whereas eukaryotic cells has a helix or linear DNA. Now, what is circular or helix DNA? DNA represented as this is known as
helix.
linear or helix DNA. Whereas DNA represented as this is basically a circular DNA. Now tell me, which DNA does the prokaryotic cell has?
Uh,
Circular, right? Whereas eukaryotic cells contains which DNA?
linear. Okay.
Linear or helix DNA. Now we will study. Let me learn this. Different types of organelles present in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Now, what are organelles? Organelles are nothing but small components which help or perform different functions in cell. For example, this is a cell and there are small components. Now each component has a specific task to do. So for example, let's assume this is mitochondria. This is Golgi complex. This is soft endoplasmic reticulum. This is rough endoplasmic reticulum. This portion here is cytoplasm. These are the the small parts are known as ribosomes. Ribosomes. And let's this center part as nucleus. Now, all the components present in the cell are known as organelles, and these organelles are nothing but different parts of cells which have different roles to perform. Now, what does nucleus do? Nucleus is basically the CPU or CPU. By CPU, I mean it basically controls all the activities of cell, whereas mitochondria is the power unit.
Power unit.
Why power unit? Because mitochondria provides energy to cell. Golgi complex helps in carrying the different package materials. Cytoplasm is a semi-solid in nature. Semi-solid. Cytoplasm is a semi-solid portion that helps to support all these organelles present in the cell. It is semi-solid component. Ribosomes are nothing but protein sites. What does ribosomes do? They help in synthesis of proteins. That is, they produce proteins. Now, we will further move on. Plant cell and animal cell. Now this is plant cell and this is animal cell. We will study now different parts of plant cell and animal cell. This circular part is known as vacuum. Now what is vacuum? Vacuum is a part in plant cells which stores water. Same here. Vacuum. In animal cell. It performs the same function as storing water in animal cell also. But have you noticed the size of vacuum in plant cell and animal cell is different? Because plants are immobile in nature, they cannot move on their own for food and water. The size of vacuole is large, whereas animals are mobile in nature and can move on their own for water and food transport. So basically the vacuole is smaller in animals. The next is the cell wall. Now why did I write here
Cell wall.
in plant cell I write the outer part as cell wall, whereas in animal cell I did write the outer part as cell wall, but cell membrane. Because plant cells, as mentioned earlier, are mobile in nature. The cell wall helps to protect the inner constituents of cell. So they require cell wall for support and maintaining the structure of the cell. Whereas animal cell doesn't require cell. So the outer part of animal cell is known as
Cell
cell membrane. The inner part is the inner membrane. Same. Inner membrane. The common parts are mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of cell. Lysosomes. Lysosomes. Now what are lysosomes? The lysosomes are the gatekeepers, or we can call them suicidal bags. Suicidal bags. So what do lysosomes do? Lysosomes digest the unwanted cells or the foreign materials which are harmful to the cell. So that's why they are known as suicidal bags of cell. Suicidal bags of cell. Now let's summarize what we have studied. Cell, how the word was derived. It is a Latin word called as cella, that means empty space. Cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 when he observed cork cells under a compound microscope. Later his research was further carried out by Anton van Leeuwenhoek, the scientist who classified cells into two types, that is eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are, for example of prokaryotic cell is a bacteria, and example of eukaryotic cells are animal cell and plant cell. Prokaryotic cells have circular DNA, whereas eukaryotic cells have linear or helix DNA. Then we studied about organelles. Organelles are the different components of cells which perform different activities. For example, nucleus is the CPU, or basically the one that controls all activities of cell. The next is mitochondria, which is the power unit or power of the cell. The next is Golgi complex, cytoplasm, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, etc. Then we studied about the difference between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell has cell wall for maintaining definite structure, whereas animal cell does not require it, or there is absence of cell wall. Then the size of vacuole in plant cell is larger as compared to animal cell, whereas all other organelles are similar in plant cell and animal cells. Lysosomes are known as suicidal bags which digest proteins or which digest cells and other foreign matter which is harmful to cells. So this is it for today. The next part we'll study. Pause के लिए. Before ending on today's lecture, a short homework for you. Draw different. Write the difference between. Write the difference between plant cell and animal cell and draw neat label diagram.